Welcome to the Living Well, Living Rich podcast. Have you ever looked at your wrist or maybe just glanced at the corner of your computer screen and suddenly realized your shoulders are practically touching your ears?
Right, like you've been holding your breath for the last hour.
Exactly. And you have no idea why you're so tense. Well, welcome to today's deep dive. We are looking at a stack of sources that tackle that exact feeling.
It's a very universal feeling these days, honestly.
Absolutely. So today we are diving into a really beautifully illustrated, seemingly simple book. It's called The Island of Lost Time by Dr. Shu Chen Hou. And we also have some really fascinating background notes from its publisher, Kokoshungsan.
Yeah, and it is just a remarkable piece of work. I mean, it disguises this really sophisticated psychological exploration inside, well, basically a gentle fable.
Right. It reads almost like a fairy tale at first.
It does. And the guiding motto of the book, the core idea, is lose time, find yourself. So our goal for this deep dive is to figure out the actual mechanics of how to do that.
Because, if you are listening to this, you're probably someone who loves learning. You want to stay informed. You want to absorb new perspectives.
You want to be on top of your field.
Yeah, exactly. But the shadow side of that curiosity is the modern curse of information overload. We live in this perpetual state of racing against the clock.
Always trying to cram in just one more article.
Or one more email, right. One more task into a day that just never feels long enough. So today is explicitly about breaking that exhausting cycle.
And the story actually begins by directly addressing that modern condition.
Yeah.
We meet our protagonist, a guy named Jamie, the exact moment he arrives on the sandy shore of this mysterious island.
And the contrast is just immediate.
Oh, completely. The author immediately establishes this sharp contrast between the world Jamie left behind and the physical environment he's stepping into. He's leaving behind hurried traffic, the constant demanding hum of cell phones, and what the text brilliantly calls the invisible clock that seemed to shout reminders.
Okay, that concept of the invisible clock is just so incredibly accurate.
It really hits home, doesn't it?
It does, because you don't even need a physical watch strapped to your wrist to feel late anymore. It's just this permanent hum in your brain.
Yeah, constant pressure.
It actually reminds me of having an app running in the background of your smartphone that you just can't force close.
Oh, that's a great way to put it.
Right, like you aren't actively using the app, you aren't looking at it, but it is quietly, persistently draining your battery all day long. You get to 2 p.m. and your cognitive battery is at 5%. You have no idea why.
Because of the invisible clock.
Exactly. That's the invisible clock.
Well, when Jamie steps onto the island, that background app finally crashes. The environment itself just forces a shutdown to that anxiety.
It's a hard stop.
Right. The text describes the air on the island as feeling soft as linen. So instead of a fierce, blinding glare, the sun just provides this gentle warmth. There are no roaring engines, just the quiet lapping of water.
Just a total sensory shift.
Exactly. And there is this wonderful, very deliberate detail early on. Jamie notices a gecko on a nearby rock. And the gecko is holding completely still, just eyeing him without any fear.
Which is such a specific thing to notice. You know, when you've just arrived in this magical place, why focus on a tiny lizard?
Well, because it establishes the physiological baseline of the island. I mean, think about what a lack of fear in a wild animal actually represents.
An environment with no predators.
Right, an environment totally devoid of predatory tension. The book doesn't open with some grand action sequence. It opens with a deep breath and the literal physical unclenching of Jamie's shoulders.
Wow.
His breath actually catches in his chest. And from a cognitive science perspective, what's fascinating here is that this is vital. In our daily routines, the fierce glare of screens and the loud noise of constant demands, it basically traps our nervous system.
It's like a fight or flight state.
Exactly, a low-grade fight or flight state. Cortisol is just constantly dripping into our systems because, well, our brains are treating unread emails the same way our ancestors treated lurking predators.
That makes so much sense. So we need a drastic change to fix it.
We do. We often require a complete sensory shift, like a radical drop in incoming stimuli, just to lower our defensive threshold enough to remember how to take a slow breath.
You almost have to shock your system with peace, because peace feels so alien to us.
Yeah, perfectly said.
But Jamie doesn't just sit on the beach and take a vacation, right? Once he actually stops rushing, the island reveals a guide to him.
Right, Evelyn.
Yeah, this woman named Evelyn emerges from the trees. She has silver hair and a long braid, and the author describes her as smiling slowly, as if she carried all the time in the world.
I love that phrasing.
It's beautiful. So she takes Jamie to a circle of low stones to begin his lessons, and she tells him that time on this island operates differently. She says, it stands still, waits for you to notice each moment.
And she actually demonstrates this at a nearby stream. She takes him to the water, and it's so clear Jamie can see the pebbles shining on the bed. Evelyn scoops the water to her lips, and Jamie kneels down and just watches the water swirl around the stones. And suddenly, he sees every ripple as if it's moving in slow motion.
Like time is actually slowing down.
Exactly. He touches the surface of the water and notices how unbelievably bright each individual drop looks. He actually describes a single drop of water hanging in the air like a tiny prism.
Okay, wait, hold on. I have to push back a little on the literal mechanics of the story right here.
Sure, go ahead.
Because when you read that scene, the immediate question is, did time actually just stop for everyone on the island? Is Evelyn performing a magic trick?
Right, like a superpower.
Yeah. Are we in some sci-fi time distortion field where the laws of physics have been suspended?
Well, we are so conditioned to view time as this unyielding mathematical constant, you know?
Yeah.
Like a line moving strictly from left to right.
Always ticking forward.
Exactly. So
What?
anything else feels like science fiction to us. But Evelyn's answer to Jamie explains exactly what is happening. She tells him it waits for those who need its lesson.
It waits for those who need it.
Right. This isn't a magic trick at all. It is a profound shift in perception. Evelyn explains that people who try to measure days, count hours, and constantly plan their departures before they've even arrived, well, they end up feeling trapped by time, wasting their efforts.
So slowing down isn't about stopping the rotation of the Earth. It's the active practice of paying attention.
Exactly. It's what reveals the hidden layers of a single stretched moment.
So it's really about the density of the attention, not the duration of the clock.
That is exactly the mechanism. When you stop measuring time and start actually experiencing it, your brain's processing changes.
How so?
Well, neuroscientists talk about how novel, deeply observed experiences actually cause the brain to lay down denser memories. If you give your brain the bandwidth to process the hidden microscopic layers of a single moment, it changes things.
Like the light refracting through that drop of water to make a prism.
Right. When you observe that deeply, the moment feels subjectively longer. You stretch time from the inside out.
I see. So it's less about stopping the clock on the wall and way more about dismantling the clock in your head.
Yes. Stillness, in the context of this book, is not just the absence of noise. It is the fierce, active application of observation.
Okay, here is where it gets really interesting, though. Because it's one thing to find enlightenment when you are alone in a beautiful forest with a silver-haired guide.
Oh, absolutely.
But personal insight always has to survive contact with the real world, right? You have to bring it back around other anxious people. And Jamie immediately gets tested on this.
He does, down at the lagoon.
Yeah, Evelyn takes him down to the shallow lagoon, and they run into other visitors to the island. And these people are just completely missing the point.
Totally missing it.
They are standing on this gorgeous, peaceful beach, but they're staring anxiously at their pocket watches. The text notes, they look intensely frustrated, feeling as though time had betrayed them.
And think about the pure psychological realism of that scene. I mean, how often have you looked at a clock and felt a genuine surge of betrayal? Because an hour evaporated when it felt like only 10 minutes.
Oh, all the time. It feels so unfair.
Right. And these visitors, they couldn't leave their anxiety behind. They brought their invisible clocks with them. And in this magical environment, those invisible clocks materialized as physical pocket watches that just wouldn't tick.
And so Jamie walks up to one of these travelers, right? A man who is literally pacing back and forth on the sand, just staring at a dead watch.
Such a powerful image.
It is. Jamie kneels beside him and says, gently, don't look. Listen to the water. Feel the grains of sand. Breathe.
And the guy actually listens.
He does. His shoulders relax, the tension leaves his face, and he just drops the unmoving watch into the sand. He just lets it slip right out of his hand.
Wow.
To me, that physical act is exactly like forcing a hard reboot on a frozen computer.
Oh, I like that comparison.
You know when the system completely locks up and you get the spinning wheel of death on the screen and no keyboard shortcuts will work?
Yep, the absolute worst.
The only way out is to press and hold the physical power button until the screen goes black and the fan stops. Letting go of that watch, dropping it in the sand, was the man holding the power button. He had to physically sever his connection to the token of his anxiety to just restart his internal system.
It really is a total system reset.
Yeah.
By engaging his physical senses, like feeling the sand and listening to the water, He pulls his brain out of that abstract anxiety loop.
And forces it back into the present.
Exactly. He anchors in present physical reality. But, and this is crucial, the author introduces a darker, much more challenging detail in this text.
Oh, right. Not everyone rocks the watch.
Exactly. Jamie spends the rest of the afternoon walking among these anxious visitors, offering them the exact same gentle guidance. But the text explicitly notes that not everyone accepted his help.
Some people actually rejected it.
Completely. Some people plucked their watches right out of the sand and hurried away in frustration.
They were offered total peace, and they actively chose to run back to their anxiety.
Yes,
Yeah.
and that is the pivotal question of the book, and really something for you, the listener, to deeply consider. When you are caught in a swirl of deadlines, feeling like you're just drowning in information, and something offers you a chance to pause, what do you actually do?
Right. Do you take the pause?
Are you the person who would close your eyes, feel the sand, and breathe?
Uh-huh.
Or are you the person who would grab the broken watch out of the sand, furious that it isn't ticking, and just hurry back to your stress?
But why do we do that? I mean, why would anyone choose the panic over the peace?
Well, because chronic stress becomes an identity.
Oh, wow.
Clinging to our familiar habits, even when those habits are actively making us miserable, it provides a twisted sort of comfort zone. Letting go of the watch requires vulnerability.
Because then you have to face yourself.
Right. It requires admitting that your frantic rushing isn't actually solving anything. For a lot of people, the illusion of control that comes from pacing and staring at a clock is just preferable to the terrifying vulnerability of standing still.
That hits incredibly close to home. And honestly, it's the perfect bridge to the climax of Jamie's journey, because as much as Jamie has learned, he knows he is just a tourist here. He can't stay on a fantasy island forever.
He has to go back.
Yeah. As the sun sets, he confesses his biggest fear to Evelyn. He tells her, I want to carry this with me, but at home I've got a job that demands I juggle deadlines, emails, meetings all day. I doubt I can just stop.
He's terrified.
Completely. He is afraid that the moment he opens his laptop, that invisible clock is going to start ticking again and just erase everything he learned.
It's the ultimate post-vacation dread.
Yeah.
You feel totally zen on the beach, and the second you hit airport security on the way home, your blood pressure spikes.
Exactly. But Evelyn's response is the crux of this entire deep dive. She looks at him and says, you don't lose it. You choose to remember it.
You choose to remember it.
She tells him, time stands still here, but outside, life moves on. You must find moments of stillness wherever you go. She is making it very clear that true life wisdom is never found in escaping reality.
Right. It is found entirely in how you move through reality.
So the next morning, Jamie is leaving the island on a small skiff at dawn. And before he pushes off, we get this brilliant, quiet moment. Evelyn brings him a cup of herb-infused tea.
Such a great detail.
And Jamie takes the cup, holds it in both hands, and just savors the earthy aroma. He doesn't chug it to get caffeinated for the boat ride. He doesn't drink it while looking at his phone. He fully experiences the warmth and the smell of the tea.
He is practicing the lesson.
Yes. So what does this all mean for you tomorrow morning? It means Jamie didn't have to quit his job. He didn't abandon his responsibilities or, move to the woods. He just changed the way he drank his tea.
He deliberately inserted a mindful pause into his timeline. By fully engaging with the sensory details of the tea, feeling the heat through the ceramic, the earthy scent, he is disabling the brain's default mode network.
The default mode network? What's that?
That's the part of the brain responsible for time traveling, basically, for worrying about the future and regretting the past. When you anchor yourself in physical sensation, you short-circuit that network.
Oh, that makes total sense.
Jamie realizes that time is not a tyrant constantly whipping him forward. Time is, as the text describes, a quiet teacher, a patient friend.
A patient friend. I love that.
So you can hold your coffee cup tomorrow morning with both hands, feel the warmth, and take just one deliberate breath before you open your inbox. You are practicing the lesson of the island. You are actively choosing to remember.
And, Jamie's ability to just sit and savor that herb-infused tea didn't happen by accident. That specific moment is actually the perfect physical embodiment of the philosophy held by the people who published this story.
Yes, the publishers.
And understanding where this wisdom comes from, honestly, it completely blew my mind. It takes this from being just a Norse fable to a really profound worldview.
The background context reframes everything. So the author, Dr. Shu Chen Hou, holds a PhD from the University of Bristol. But the publishing initiative behind the Island of Lost Time, Kokoshungsan, has this deeply rooted real-world heritage.
Right. The entire project is inspired by Dr. Hou's family tradition, specifically the Yongsheng Herbal Pharmacy in Taiwan, which was founded by her parents.
Mr. Hu Shusan and Mrs. Peng Kai-feng.
Yes. They built this pharmacy on a foundation of care, integrity, and a deep respect for learning. They spent their lives operating a pharmacy to heal people's physical ailments using traditional herbs.
A literal herbal pharmacy.
Exactly. And what Dr. Hou has done is take those exact same values and build Kokoshungsan to heal people's minds through literature and education.
It is the translation of traditional herbal medicine into psychological and emotional wisdom.
It's mental herbalism. Instead of prescribing a root or a leaf for a stomachache, they are publishing narratives to soothe a hyperactive nervous system.
Yeah, it's a perfect way to look at it.
And honestly, if you find yourself needing more of this kind of mental clarity, I strongly recommend visiting kokoshungsan.net.
Yes, absolutely check them out.
Their catalog is full of works dedicated to this exact mission of slowing down and finding focus. It's incredibly valuable.
The legacy of that herbal pharmacy is fully alive in the Kokoshungsan philosophy. I mean, their core motto is, knowledge changes destiny, education changes the world.
That's a powerful motto.
It is. But what really separates them is their approach to that knowledge. They believe that learning shouldn't be a complicated, overwhelming burden. They champion the idea that simple, clear, and meaningful ideas are what actually create lasting change.
Right. Small ideas understood clearly. Like noticing a water drop acting as a prism.
Or dropping a watch in the sand.
Or feeling the warmth of a teacup.
Exactly. You don't need a massive, convoluted 10-step self-help program to change your destiny or rewire your anxiety. You need the clarity of a single, well-understood truth practiced consistently.
That's so freeing, honestly.
It is. That is the bridge between the traditional, grounded healing of the Yongsheng Herbal Pharmacy and the modern mental remedies Kokoshungsan brings to a distracted world. They are dispensing antidotes to the modern condition, one simple, clear narrative at a time.
So, to bring this all together, whether you are an executive drowning in back-to-back meetings, a student facing down impossible deadlines, or just someone trying to navigate a really noisy, demanding world.
Which is all of us.
Which is all of us, yeah. The ultimate shortcut to being well-informed and at peace isn't about learning to read faster. It isn't about optimizing your calendar to squeeze in one more task. It is entirely about mastering your own perception of time.
It's about finding your island.
Yes, even if that island only exists for the 30 seconds it takes to drink your morning coffee.
Which leaves us with the final lingering image from Jamie's departure.
Oh, the watch.
Yeah. When Jamie is on that boat, riding away from the island and heading back toward his busy, demanding life, he reaches into his pocket. Because before he left the beach, he actually picked up the golden pocket watch that the anxious traveler had discarded in the sand.
He took it with him.
He did. And as the sea glimmers around the skiff, Jamie opens the watch, and he sees that the hands are completely frozen. They are stopped at the exact moment the frustrated traveler had thrown the watch away.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. That is the image I want you to carry with you today. Think about the implications of those frozen hands. Does time only stop measuring our lives the exact moment we finally find the courage to throw away the clock?
That is an incredible thought to chew on. The exact moment we throw it away.
Something to mull over today.
Absolutely. Well, the next time you feel your shoulders rising toward your ears, remember the island. Thank you for joining us on the Living Well, Living Rich podcast for this deep dive. Take a slow breath, leave your invisible clock behind for a while, and keep your curiosity alive. We'll see you next time.
Out on the coast where the wild winds play, Leo the lion lights the way, a magical beam in the starry night, guiding the ships with his shining light. Leo's lighthouse standing tall, helping others big and small. Through the fog we all can see, hope and kindness set us free. Rocks below and waves collide, Leo roars with beams so wide. His heart's the flame that never fades, guarding sailors through life's cascades. to overflow. Leo's brave roar will always resound, keeping ships safe and sound. Each flicker of light tells a tale of courage and kindness that will prevail. He's the hero on the shore, Leo's light forevermore. Tells a tale of courage and kindness that will prevail. He's the hero